Hello, Virgo. Here's your reading for the week of February 26th through about March 4th. These are general. Take what resonates, and what doesn't work just doesn't work. But if you stumble upon this reading at a later date, there may be something in it for you. But let's see what the cards have to say. In your recent past position, you have the Two of Pentacles. In your current energies, you have the Four of Pentacles. In your near future, you have the Seven of Cups. Your challenge for the week is the World in reverse. And what is recommended for you is the King of Cups. So this says, in your recent past, you've been juggling something. The Two of Pentacles is kind of like having a lot going on. You're kind of juggling multiple things. It could represent you have a job and then you have a side hustle, or you have your family and your job, but you're juggling things and you're always kind of like one step away from dropping that ball. But you have multiple things going on and you're managing to keep it going. You're managing to keep kind of like the flow going with that. But in your recent energies, or your current energies, I should say, is the Four of Pentacles. This card is kind of like a little bit of a stuck energy. You might be feeling that you have to hold on to something because you're scared that you won't have enough in the future. So whatever this represents for you, you're kind of like, I don't want to say taking a pause, but you're kind of nervous about the future a little bit. So you're holding on to what you have right now because you're scared to lose something, or you're scared to kind of make a move because you're worried that you're going to experience some type of loss or something's not going to go well. So you're almost like in this pause energy. You're just like kind of holding on to what you have. But what's coming in for you is the Seven of Cups. And this indicates like having a lot of different ideas or daydreaming or having a lot of different opportunities, but not all these opportunities are good things. Sometimes I get this card when I'm kind of daydreaming a lot, or I'm thinking about different options I could go into or start, but I'm trying to figure it out in my head, what's the best one or how would it play out. So this could be some of you are trying to figure certain things out mentally about like, okay, well, if I started this, how is this going to go, or what do I expect here? But this is indicating that you always need to take a look at the options. If there's something that's being presented to you, or if you have these choices you have to make between multiple aspects, not everything is always great. Not things that glitter are not always gold. So you always have to make sure you're choosing the things that are actually very good and could develop into something much better for you in the future. But sometimes this is a little bit of I don't want to say chaotic energy, but it's a little bit, I don't want to say tiresome, but it just, you have a lot of stuff mentally. Sometimes this makes you really happy, but you need to almost like choose something to start with it as well. So you don't want to stay stuck in this energy, and you won't, but you have to kind of figure out, well, what is the best thing for you that's coming in for you. Now, your challenge for the week is the World in reverse. And this is indicating that you might feel like you don't have completion for something. There might be something that you did or you were working on and it's kind of not really working that great. The end is not in sight. You might feel like it's never going to end. There's no resolution. There's no completion. And so that's going to be your challenge. And I wonder for some of you is that if that's why you're staying kind of like in this like stuck moment where you're just like holding on to what you have, because you could be waiting for some type of resolution or some type of outcome with something and it's just not really coming, and it could be getting you a little bit stressed out or upset. For some of you, this could indicate like even a promotion. Maybe you're juggling your job, you're juggling all the responsibilities of your job. You have certain aspects really good, but maybe somebody left, and you're waiting to hear if you're going to get the job or be promoted, and it's kind of causing you this like, okay, well, I'm not hearing about anything quite yet, like what's going on? Or you could have put your application somewhere else and you're just waiting. So you're just kind of in this stuck energy, but it's stressful when you feel like you're so close to something, there's something should be over or finishing and it's not. So that's what you're going to have to deal with this week, but take that how it applies to you. But what's recommended for you is the King of Cups. Now, this guy is very in tune with his emotions, but he doesn't let them overcome him. He doesn't let them overrun him. So I think this is saying that you need to be very strong with the way your emotions are going to be this week, like very in control, I should say, of your emotions this week. Like, don't let your emotions ruin your day. Don't let them run away with you. He's almost like mastered himself because he could come off kind of cold to people, but he's not cold. He feels very deeply, but he's able to really harness them, and he has such a deep understanding of himself that it's almost like he can take any situation and really understand the way he feels about it and why he feels that way and like figure it out from there. So he has like this really great understanding of himself. And I think this is saying that you might need to kind of look at why you feel stuck right now. This completion thing that may be not happening, or you're feeling like something's not ending and it's causing you to feel this kind of fear of not having something in the future, you might need to understand why is that. Like you might need to take a little bit more of a reflective look on yourself and your emotions this week and somehow harness that, gain control of that. Because I think what's coming in for you is a lot of options. So I think you need to be a little bit more prepared. So when these things are presented, you're not just getting stuck in the thinking or the considering them, but you're actually like evaluating them and assessing which one is best and then moving on towards that. But let's see what else the cards have to say for you. Okay, first up, you have Vulture Spirit. Nothing is wasted. And I feel like if you've been working towards something and maybe you're not going to actually reach completion, maybe this week there's something happening that either it's going to get delayed, it's going to take longer to finish, or you might not even be able to finish it. This is saying that everything you've put into it up until that point, it's not wasted. So maybe eventually you can finish whatever the situation is, or maybe you just have to press pause on it for a second. But your experience and your efforts are not being wasted. Angelite, support is all around you. And I think this is saying that you have people in your corner. And if you're kind of feeling a little bit frustrated and if you're feeling a little bit stuck, you have people that are around you that are willing to help. Because I definitely think coming in for you, you have a lot of options and a lot of choices that you need to figure out. But I think the King of Cups, I wonder for some of you if there's somebody that you could talk to that's very emotionally sound, that can be your sounding board or kind of help you through this. If you're going through a rough time, there might be somebody in your life that really is going to be able to help you kind of work through this situation. You have the Chaser in codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issues. And you might be in some kind of negative pattern or cycle. There might be some type of codependence. Like you might actually even be putting your value on whatever this thing is that you've been working on that's just getting stalled or getting pressed on pause or not being completed quite yet or getting held up. You might be putting your value onto that situation. So in a sense, and that's a negative codependence because your value is now being placed onto something else. So you might need to watch that. Or this could represent even somebody or a person in your life. But heart with a key, welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, perfect. And I think this is saying that you just need to kind of be open to positive things coming your way. And just, I wonder if getting together is just you reaching out to somebody that could help you, even just emotionally. Because I just feel like this is very stressful right now. There might be somebody that you can kind of talk to that kind of helps either open you up or just helps lift your spirit. Love, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, attraction. And I think this is important. You might just need to love yourself unconditionally because let's say if something you were working towards is not going to happen, you might be taking this as a big blow to yourself or a major setback. But you need to love yourself unconditionally regardless, So that's definitely important. And religious factors, your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. And religious factors could represent religion, but it could also represent anything that you really feel strong beliefs about. Now, for some of you, it could be school. Like you could have been pursuing some type of degree or whatever, and for some reason you have to take a pause, and it could be really shattering your expectations of like, okay, well, I'm going to go here for 4 years. 4 years later, I'm going to finish it. Then I'm going to get a job, So it might be kind of shattering kind of like your thoughts of like, okay, this is how you do something, this is the way you do it, and it's kind of the only way you do it, where there might be something thrown into the mix where now you might have to take like a semester off, or you might have to drop out, this semester, or start up another time, or like even with a job or something, you could have felt like this is the way I do something, or it could be anything in your life. You felt really strongly, okay, this is the way it is, but all of a sudden something happens, life happens, and it's shifting you a little bit. And it could be something that, like a strong belief that you have to kind of, I don't say overcome, but accept that sometimes circumstances, they come up. So, and let's see what quote we get for you. Having a soft heart in a cruel world is courage, not weakness. And for some of you could have poured a lot of energy into even somebody. This could have been you juggling your life and even trying to help somebody else, and something got kind of stuck and didn't go well, and you were trying to help them because you were trying to maybe help better them or help them better themselves. And maybe it's just a never ending cycle, and you're starting to see that. And some of you might be felt like you poured so much time and energy into something that you were taking advantage of. But I don't think that's saying that that was a weakness if it's not transpiring as you had hoped. It's just saying that you were courageous to even do that, and you still are courageous, because sometimes if certain things don't work out currently, it doesn't mean that you can't try again. So, and your positive affirmation card is, today I move forward. Today I see each obstacle as an opportunity to learn and grow. So I think that's fantastic, because if you're experiencing some type of setback, just see it, as an obstacle. We always have obstacles. Nothing goes perfectly. Nothing in life really is ever truly smoothly. And if something goes very smoothly, you can bet your rear end there's something gonna come up eventually. So, but each time you hit up against resistance, you hit up a roadblock or anything, a boulder, a mountain, whatever it is, it's always an opportunity for you to really learn and expand and just figure out how to grow from that. So I think that's fantastic. And let's see what Bob Ross has to say for you. I think each of us at some times in our life has wanted to paint a picture. And I think this is you. I think you probably had this idea of this picture that you wanted, and you really wanted it this way. But I think for whatever reason, I'm kind of getting that things didn't quite work out exactly as you wanted them to. And you might be a little frustrated, but that doesn't mean that the picture, even though this picture might not have been completed exactly the way you wanted it to, it doesn't mean that your next picture or what you're doing next won't be perfect as well. But I mean, I'm sure there's obstacles coming up again, because that's how it is. But I think this is saying that you just need to remind yourself, even if you're having a setback currently, about what you want, and you just need to continue on going for what you want. You have to be happy. At the end of the day, I really think each of us needs to strive for happiness. We might not have a perfect life. We might not have things go 100% great, but we just need to find the little things that just make us happy. Not everything is going to make us happy, but if we could find certain things in our life that just truly make us happy, then it's going to be so much better for everybody, It just makes you happy. It's better to be happy than not. Okay, and let's see what spirit of the dish shall be with you this week. You have the spirit of the Knight of Mains, which is the spirit of the spaghetti and meatballs. Okay. So for your dinner and a movie, you have horror movies and barbecue films. And for the energies you either need to tap into, you have two Sagittariuses. You either not need to tap into this energy or be aware of this. And there's two Sagittariuses, and they represent expansion and good fortune. And I think even if you're hitting up against a little bit of a roadblock, there's good fortune on its way, and you just need to continue to expand. Like, don't stay in this Four of Pentacles. It's kind of like holding on stuck energy. You need to just kind of take a risk sometime, a calculated risk, but sometimes you just got to get out of your comfort zone. And you have Pluto here, which represents transformation and major changes. And you have the Sun, which is all about ego, individuality, and confidence. You have the third house, which represents communication, intellect, communities, and relationship. And you have the fifth house, which is all about passion, love, success, and creativity. And for your special guest today, you have an even number, which is number 2. So that means Mr. Predicto shall be out here to answer your question shortly, Virgo. So think of those questions. You have M, V, G, Y, Q, D, V, 5675. And you have wealth. So, and wealth can be money, can be monetary possessions and everything, but it also can be emotional wealth. Like it could just be anything, happiness. So something could be that you're searching for either financial gain or kind of like a wealth of knowledge, just something that just makes you feel more abundant or gives you more abundance. Let's see what little charmy we get for you. Oh, and you got the cat. This is the playful cat. So this cat, he just wants cuddles. He just wants a nap. He wants like a warm blanket. I think he wants to watch TV too. He wants some snacks. He definitely wants some snacks. I think this is saying, don't be so serious. Like sometimes you have to be a little silly. Sometimes you have to be a little playful. Sometimes you just have to take a rest. You know, if you're having a rough day and things are going well, just maybe Netflix and chill for a few hours just to shift your mind, get out of it. And just, you have to have a little bit more fun, especially when things aren't going quite well. You have to kind of have a little bit of you time, you know. Okay, so now it is time. I'm going to bring our special guest over. Okay, Virgos, think of your question and let us ask. Oh, Mr. Predicto, the most accurate fortune teller that's ever run off of batteries, what is the answer to Virgo's question?
Yes, without question.
So he said yes, without question. Mr. Predicto is a man of many words, and those were the words he chose to speak here today. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.